the dead cat bounce to the upside or the dead cat bounce to the downside? I think we are consolidating here a little bit. So, but which way are we going to go? That's the whole $10,000 question, maybe more than $10,000. So let me finish my thought here. So for me to forget my terrible day on Friday, I used to come and bake like the next day. So I don't think about it. That's I started baking. Now I do everything. I used to make some really good chocolate chip cookies, but everybody can make a chocolate chip cookie.
Fridays seem like they were always so stressful to me because they still are, because you're so worried about if you had a good week, you end up blowing everything on Friday. It's like you get all, you try not to, but sometimes it seems like it happens, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, I'm not thinking about it like that. I'm just thinking about another day at work,
Yeah.
If it's like Friday or Monday, it's another day at work. So the issue is not whether it's Friday. It's just that you have to think about it for 2 days. That's the problem. You can't just, like, if I had a bad day on Tuesday, I'm gonna think about it when I drive home. Then I'm gonna be back at it tomorrow, the next day. But not
right.
Good, Don.
I told y'all to go long.
You did. Just go long. You said it. I didn't say it. He said it. Nice. All right.
This is like shooting ducks in a barrel.
Oh, I would miss, but okay. All right. Nice rotation there. And it's a Friday, Good Friday here that we are moving around, giving us opportunities here. All our levels and the first 4 levels that we've had here have worked very nicely. Just if you've taken those alone, you should have a good Friday. And again, if anybody has any questions, or you want to comment, just feel free. We don't mind questions. We don't mind comments. Good and bad. I am a big boy. I can handle it. But I can handle that. Believe me, I've been criticized a lot.
I like looking at it when your average time in the market's 1.2 minutes. I love that.
Yeah. That's right. When you're sitting there, you got a position on for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. You're like, oh, what am I doing in this? It's not a good day. But, again, volatility obviously adds to the time factor. And lately it's been like moving around a lot lately. So it's really not coming. It hasn't come into play at all how long we should stay in a trade. It's just a matter of working. I mean, you're either going to make money or you're not. That's how fast it's moving these days.
Is anybody talking today, Sal? Any numbers or anything like that? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, good question. I should have gone to that earlier. So we got business inventories and consumer sentiment coming out here in about 5 minutes. So I was just about to get there anyway. But
I was just wondering why this thing's moving so fast.
Yeah. There's a couple numbers. Then there is a Fed speak at 9 o'clock. A Fed speak at 10 o'clock. They are on a roll these days. These guys, they are just like chit-chatting away. And everybody's asking them questions about when are you going to raise rates? How fast are you going to go? When is that going to happen? Blah, blah, blah. So
I'm showing my volume right now from 583,000.
Yeah.
Actually, usually doesn't show up to about 10:30 somewhere in there.
Yeah. No, it's definitely really when it keeps moving like this. Look at there's still not even 100 lots in the ladder ticket. I can't believe it. We'll see what this number does.
Let's go 46.
You're gonna get it. It's just a matter of we're gonna get there we go.
Here we go.
We're gonna get 54 now. That's our next level of resistance as we get his peak up here, making new interim highs. We're still, let's see, 50. What is it? 51, 52 is the settlement price for those of you who are asking.
Oh, that was nice.
This is Nice little rotate. If you did buy the new high there, pushing forward here a little bit, looking for the 54. Nice little push up here. Nice continued push. All right, there we go. Coming up here to, remember, the settlement price is an area there that we like to focus in on sometimes. All right, a little bit of rotation against the settlement area there. Take whatever it gives you, right? See if we can't get up to the 54 area. Nice rotation there against the settlement price if you did jump in there. And we're looking for the 54 now. Okay. Nice little pop off of the settlement price. Those of you I know, or some of you are taking it, that I know. Well, at least I don't know why I like the settlement price. It goes and retests it, especially since we opened up 30 points lower, 40 points lower. So traded 40 points lower. You just never know when they're going to come. All right, we do have this number coming out here in about 2 minutes. Coming up here to the 54 now. So careful around the 54 with this number. It's a small number, but you know, you never know. With the extreme volatility, they might you know, decide to move it one way or the other. So careful around the 54 here with this on the heels of this a number that's coming out here. See what it wants to do. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat box area. If you look at the chat box area, we're going to give you the levels that we have that we're going to use as we've been using for the day. There they go. And we've been, those numbers have been gold today. All right.
Especially for Don.
Don's buying, selling. Don's like busy. How many trades you got on, Don?
Only did 9. But they were
more.
they were 9
more
good
than
ones. It's kind of like, why do any more?
Well, you know,
I mean, the trades are jumping 4 to 5 points easy.
Mike,
the market, so.
you know, the only the commentary, as far as early commentary is concerned, it would mean that I would have to have a bias, right?
Yeah.
And so I try to stay away from giving you commentary in the morning or any kind of commentary as far as the market is concerned, because I'm really trying to stay away from having a bias for the day. And we all have biases. I'm not going to say you don't, but
I do.
Yeah, we all have biases, but so I don't like to give. I like to give levels and then let the market tell me what my next move is going to be, whether I'm going to go trade levels or I'm going to go long or short, depending on the price action. And I'd rather do that than try to, you know, give you what my thoughts are prior, right? Because then I get myself in trouble, you know. So
Yep.
You got to come in there with an open mind. You have a game plan with the levels, and then let the market take you where it takes you. Because if I try to, believe me, I know I've done this where I've come in with a bias or an opinion. I don't know why it never works out for me. It just never works out for me. All right, there's the 54 area. Wow, that was quick. That was quicker than the rest of them. You should have got in there 3.5.
That was crazy.
Oh, this is a nice little rotation here. This one you can take definitely more than 2. I mean, this was an automatic. So, okay, there you go. That's a nice little move here off of at 54 area.
Can I breathe now?
I mean,
All right, there.
you didn't even have to work. You hardly took a breath in, and the market gave you 10
I'm
points.
kidding. Jeez.
Wow, that was a nice move there. Okay.
This is really nice. It hit, and I'm sitting here watching it.
Yeah, no, I will try to get it in there a little bit earlier. I had trouble this morning with logging in, so that's why I was really late today. So that I do agree with you. That was unintentional today. It happens once in a while, but I definitely don't like to. I definitely can get here a few minutes earlier, just before the market opens up. So I don't usually give them after the market opens. You're right, but today I had a little computer issue, so my bad. But I mean, let's forget about the first couple. You should have been able to jump on after. Okay, let's say you didn't get the first couple levels, but the rest of them you should have been able to jump in. All right, nice trade there against the 54. I mean, we're bad and perfect here today. I think we should quit, don't you think?
Oh yeah.
I gotta have a day like this, like too often, but this is nice. The best part about this is that we're not quote unquote working in order, like I like to say, like when you have to actually work it because the market extended a little bit. There was quote unquote slippage. Right, today we're not getting any slippage as the market rotates really fast here. Something's up. I wish I could have told you to stay short against that 54. You took a few points out of it, but that's really nice. I'm still short. He's not even breathing.
No, I'm
I was worried about it.
I'm long.
Okay.
I'm trading that bias that I shouldn't be trading.
Oh, that's right. There you go. There you go. He did say get long right before. Now he's trading the bias that he has. So right now I got no support until 25. So that's my bias. So I mean that's where I'm at now. I'm gonna just take levels that are my best trade. So we had all our levels. This is like just unreal. Pretty amazing, if you ask me.
It's only been a half hour.
It's only been a half an hour. Imagine if you had to work the whole day.
My chickens aren't even up yet.
Wow, this is a nice break here off of that morning, off of that rotation there against 54. By the way, Mike, I'm sorry. That could go either way, you know. That first, I'm a little bit late, and then we get to that first level, and it kind of runs through. So obviously today it didn't do that, but there have been times where I was a little late coming in, and that first level just ran right through it. So it goes both ways. I agree with you, though. I mean, I should have been here a little bit early, but like I said, my computer issues this morning. All right. So I don't got any bonds. Welcome to the bond market. So I guess that number kind of helped us up here. They kind of faked out that move to gave us the 54 right on the number. And then that number obviously was a little bit bearish because it broke right off of that 54 number. But it just filled us just enough. And then came off. So that number was a little bit bearish, at least initially. The bond market is reacting to that number. Let's see what the yield is on the 10 years at 174. So they're kind of hanging. They were at well, what is it on today? Is it down or up? Oh, it's down a little bit. So they were hanging around the one. It was down at 125, 130 the yield, and now it's back up here to 175, maybe 177 right now. So they've definitely adjusted a little bit, but you're going to get your. And remember, also there's a couple of Fed speaks. You're going to get your move in the bond market, especially if you're tightening against the shorter term, the 2 years, where they are really holding court as far as the Fed is concerned, the shorter term stuff. And so that's where you're going to get those bigger moves, and that has moved up a lot. That was trading at like 30.3. I think I saw the last one was 0.8 or 0.9. So that moved 70 basis points. And so the 10 years only moved about 50 basis points. So there's a little flattening of the curve there, right? All right, flattening of the curve, is that? Let me think about this for a second. Yeah, because they're worried about inversion. So we'll see what happens. All right. Yeah, so there's another Fed speak. Again, these Fed speaks could be moving in markets as well. And there's another one here coming at 10 o'clock. So we don't know if the number was moved by, or the rotation off of that 54 was moved by the other numbers that we had, which was the business inventories or consumer sentiment. But they did inch up there to that 54 and flushed all the way back down. So that's a nice little trade for us if you did participate. Again, if anybody has any questions, please ask.
I was going to ask you, do you think the Fed will step in and maybe start buying some more bonds to help inflation, make the bond market run up again?
No, they can't be doing that. Actually, the opposite.
Really? They start selling?
Yeah, well, I mean, think about it, when they sell, what has to happen?
I was asking
who's buying?
The public.
Right. So what are they doing when they sell? They're taking the money supply. They're taking money out of the so when they're buying, which is what they've been doing, they put money back in. You get more liquidity. So when they say that they're selling and you have to buy it, they're taking money out of the market.
Mm.
So that's why they say that their balance sheet is so high, because they've been buying so much, and their balance sheet is at $9 trillion because that's how much money they've thrown into the market. And they have to decrease their balance sheet a little bit by selling it. And that when you sell, you're taking money out of the market and you're hopefully controlling inflation. At least that's how the old school books used to write it in as.
Right.
But I don't know. I don't know if that happened. I don't know. You can throw all those books away. That's all I can say. I mean, I wish I could tell you that these things were, I mean, they're in a new world. I mean, whatever you learned whenever we were in school, as far as finance is concerned with market participation, is kind of thrown over on its head since the 2007 or 8 financial crisis, because that's when the quantitative easing word came into play. They're buying MBSs and all these other bonds. So that's what happens when the Fed is doing their gig. That's how they can control the money supply. That's how they can control, how quickly a market expands or not. They do have the ability to have trading with trillions of dollars, not billions.
Unlimited. Almost like Don. Hi, Don.
What's that?
Trading with unlimited funds like Don.
Right. I mean, you got a bottomless. You don't have. Yeah. I mean, think about it. I mean, they don't have. They don't have a zero in there. It never goes to zero.
I don't think Don's breathing right now. We got to make sure he's all right.
He's fine. I mean, he's got his. It rallied back. It rallied back for him. He's good. You got to give him that. Send him the blue sunglasses, man. You can. I know one thing. You can only find those in L.A.
Oh, they're all over the place. What are you talking about?
No, not in Chicago.
No, in California.
Yeah, of course they are.
Everyone's got a pair.
Of course. I should have known. And then send a pair to Brad after.
Uh-oh.
I think he needs to get away from the black. Oh, there he is. Oh, see, it'll match his shirt. Again, some blue sunglasses match his shirt. All right. See, he's right there in the background listening to us. We can't really say anything bad about him.
About Brad?
Yeah. You think he's like off because he turned his camera off, but he's there.
Any plans for the weekend?
Any plans? No, this weekend, no. Maybe I'll go see I saw my little grandson the other day.
How's he doing?
He's doing great. I mean, he's crying all the time now, so it's good. He's getting his parents don't let him sleep. He doesn't let his parents sleep. It's perfect. He's supposed to be doing this.
That's his job.
This is payback for me. Definitely payback. It is his job, and he's getting, he's getting bigger, and he's opening his eyes and following people. He hasn't smiled yet, so he will soon. It's only been like 6 weeks, and he was a month early, so he's kind of just where he's supposed to be if he was born. So my a woman that I work with at the school where I coach basketball, she's the sports director. Anyway, she's my boss, right? She was pregnant, so she had her baby over the winter break. And just to show you, so my little grandson is like 7 pounds, and this is after a month. Yeah, 7 pounds. Yeah, no, I don't think he's 7. Oh, 6 pounds. This was not even 7 pounds. He's 6 pounds, so he's really small. Pedro, I'll answer that in a second. And so the coworker I had, she had her baby, 8 pounds 4 ounces.
Oh my God.
So she goes, "Oh, baby's great. Sleeps well, eats well, does everything." I go, "Yeah, wait, yeah. I mean, yeah."
Yeah.
He can eat a steak by now. So yeah, my little guy's got a ways to go. When he gets to 8 pounds, he'll probably sleep well too. My daughter, 9 pounds. Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, so Pedro, welcome. We are trading mini S&Ps futures contracts. We are trying to take advantage of ebbs and flows of the market, scalping the market using the levels that you'll see now in a minute here. Those are the levels that we use as a guide to the day, and those are support areas and resistance areas that we're trying to find on the market to try to give us an opportunity to get a rotation off of these levels to scalp the market. That's what we do here on an everyday basis. We like to average about 4 to 5 trades during the course of the day. If you're into trading futures or want to get into it, we have an education course that teaches you how to find these levels, what to do with them, how to trade them, how to manage your risk, understand why they would work, why they wouldn't work, how to tweak them a little bit. So it's a whole bunch of stuff that you'll learn as far as what these levels do and how they do, how you deal with them when they get there. We trade here every day when every day the markets are open, and we have a trading room in addition to the education course that we offer. You traded futures, never traded futures. Well, futures are definitely, you get a big bang for your money. Let's put it that way. Because you don't need to buy anything or sell anything. I mean, you're buying and selling, but the requirements are, I mean, you're in and out of trades within, well, today we've been in and out of trades very quickly because the markets have been gyrating very fast and giving us some nice rotations. So, we're not buying and holding like you do with some options or even some stocks. So they're a little bit different than buying the spiders, or they're definitely, futures are a good place to be, I think. People get scared when you say futures. Some people do. Others want to trade. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with you, but people never, when you're telling me trading futures, they're like, oh my God, what is that? It's really not that complicated. It's just a matter of understanding what's happening and then trying to take advantage of it when the opportunity presents itself. And that's what we try to do here on an everyday basis. So those are the levels that we used out, we gave out, I should say, when the market opened up. I know I should be a little bit earlier. I will be a little bit earlier so that we can, before the market opens, have them. And okay, I'm not going to go there again. So yeah, that's where we're at. And that's a good place. You come to the right place if you want to learn. Metaverse. Maybe Mark can answer that question. Mark? Oh,
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Is that like, isn't that a basketball player that played for the Lakers?
No.
No? I got the wrong guy?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so? Okay. Thanks for making me look good.
Sorry about that.
Facebook. Well, that's what I thought, but I mean, what about Facebook? I mean, who knows? I mean, there's some litigation out there, but I don't. It's like, I will say that Zuckerberg's going to make his money no matter what, and there's huge, and I don't know what they're going to do. They want to break it up. The funny thing is this: they let Facebook or Meta, whatever they're called, go buy Instagram. They go buy Snapchat. They go let them buy all these little things, right? And they let them buy it. So why now all of a sudden they're complaining about them and saying, oh, they shouldn't. They want to break them up. Well, why did they let them buy them in the first place? Isn't there like antitrust laws or something that used to happen in the United States that don't happen anymore because everybody just buys everybody out? So, I mean, now that the company's so big and they got so much influence on this and blah, 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 and now they want to break them up. Why did they let them buy all those companies in the first place? Because it's free economy and whatever, but now they want to break them up. So that's what happens with the government. Is so messed up these days that they rub them the wrong way, so they're all pissed off. And then they want to break them up because they said something bad about them, or maybe they're influencing their election in a bad way. It all comes down to them being, how bad it makes them look in an election, right? Oh, Facebook is making me look stupid. Well, you know what? Now all of a sudden, let's break them up. Let's give them some pain. I'm having my issues with how the government is running things these days, because they're They just talk out of both ends of their mouth. Let's just put it that way. All right. Well, we come up here, got up to 55 up there, and rotated off. If you did keep that level, I mean, we are coming up here. Not the worst idea, but I would. I don't know if, like I said, we made some money this morning, so I'm going to be looking at levels, and that's all I'm going to be trading. Because we're good to go today. We're good to go.
What happened to Don?
I am finished.
Oh, I was just say there he is.
Don took a nap.
Perfect.
Took a nap. He's coming back.
I thought you fell off your tractor.
Oh, no, I was long.
I knew it. I knew you said you wanted to get long, and I was like, you had to have gotten something,
Oh yeah,
and then some.
and so I'm done.
Did you put some in for us?
Oh yes.
Okay, good.
Everybody should be happy today.
Everybody should be happy today. You're right.
That's
it's a good day to be happy. Don't
Amen
forget
on
Monday.
that.
Monday we're not working. The markets are closed.
Okay.
Martin Luther King Day in the United States. So this is a good way to make money today, and don't have to worry about it for a long weekend.
Yep. Well, I will see y'all next week.
All right, Don, you have a good one. Thanks for
too,
helping
Sal.
me out today.
No problem.
And,
You're more than
we'll
welcome.
talk to you.
Take care, Mark.
Deal.
Bye.
See you.
Gotta go get some fuel. Oh, why not there, Mike? What happened? Hello? You guys still there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I don't know what happened there. So I'm sorry that you're not happy there, Mike. I am. We were kind of okay. Well, then you can't be unhappy.
54 worked.
54 worked. Well, all of them worked.
Yeah.
They just had to be quick, unfortunately. Like I said, you have to, the way the markets are moving these days, you have to place your orders in the queue prior to a level getting there. And that way you are all set to go. And also at the same time you set your orders in place, you can also set your stops so that they automatically get, set into the market. So you're not just flying blind here. If that's the way, if you want to have a mechanical stop in there as well, then that you can definitely do that with most of these. Most of the platforms that are out there allow you to do that. So we're not like blindly putting on trades with no risk constraints. Like when I'm telling you that you should have your trades in place. So then today's movement they were definitely moving around very quickly, and you had to, to place an order in after it got there was not it didn't happen that way today. And if it's too risky for you and you can't trade that way, then we just have to wait till things slow down a little bit and then trade it when things get a little bit quieter. And it will happen. It's not, when markets aren't going to stay so busy all the time. But we're definitely in a little bit of a rotation here that could create some volatility. We shall see.
Well, this is another perfect example, Sal, of buy the dips for long-term traders. I mean, after that big sell-off yesterday, and then who would have thought this was going to happen?
I don't know. You know what? I don't know. I don't know. We're also we sold off yesterday. I think the dip buy was here because they had a nice rally. This is a little coming back into, I don't know. This is this today was a little weird, right? I don't know. Didn't expect that this morning.
I told my wife the other day, Sal, it was 10 degrees at your house, and she gets so frustrated. She's like, "Why don't you just tell Sal to move to California already? I don't understand. What does 10 degrees feel like?" And I said, "Apparently, it's really cold."
Apparently, yeah, that's 10 degrees without the wind chill.
Jeez.
All right, market coming down here. We got support down at the 30 area. If you are looking for a trade.
So you're not coaching the boys right now? Did they pull a plug on that again?
What's that?
Are you coaching your basketball team, or?
So no, I as a matter of fact, I got we had tryouts last Sunday for the team,
Awesome.
and I've got 5 kids lined up. I need to get 4 more. We're going to have another tryout this Sunday.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so hopefully I get I have a decent core. My only problem, I don't have a really good point guard right now. At least I don't think I do. So I have to. I'm looking for a point guard. You know anybody?
I'll send someone out.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I mean, on our end, we're doing what it takes. Now, this is not going till August, so hopefully things get a little bit better. I used to be yeah. I actually I got better when I started coaching than when I was actually playing. Because when I started coaching, I actually had to explain things to them. Don't worry, Tim. I won't tell anybody how many years. I was never going to tell anybody how many years ago it was. Now your golf game is making up for it. Don't worry. So yeah. So when I started, I mean, I was just an average player, nothing. But when I started coaching, I actually had to explain things to the kids. I actually got it better when I started coaching. When I got a little older, I'm like, God, I wish I knew this stuff when I was playing. But now I can just vicariously live through my coaching. Just watch these kids play.
I bet you can't wait till your grandson gets out there on the court.
Oh, stop it. Stop it. My daughter's like, Dad, he might like to play the piano. I'm like, okay, he can play the piano. That means he's got good hands. He can dribble right through everybody. Nothing wrong with him playing the piano.
He can play the piano after he's done playing basketball.
That's right. I'm like, he could do whatever he wants as long as he can play basketball. I don't care. Yeah, I can't. You never know these. I've had 5 kids of my own. You just never know who's going to pick up a ball or not going to be interested or this. And so I'm not putting any pressure on him. So at least not until he tells me I hate this.
Piano.
Leave me alone. So what my daughter did to me. I was working with my daughter when she was younger, and I was working with her at the park, and I was telling her, all right, do this and do that, do this, and maybe run a sprint here, run this and that. And all of a sudden she just said, this sucks. But threw the ball down and walked home. I guess that was it. Because I was too rough on her, and she's not going to participate in basketball anymore. I'm like, okay, like okay. So I struck out with her. I mean, I wasn't doing anything bad. I didn't think I was. Then I felt really bad, but. And my other daughter I coached, and I coached her team in Maccabi. 1 year I coached my first and only time I ever coached a girls team, and because she was playing, and so she wanted. I said, okay, let's get a team, and we had actually a very good team that year, and so we get to the first day of practice. And I get all these girls there, and usually I'm telling the guys what to do and this and that, and then all of a sudden they just stop playing, and they all go to get a drink all at the same time. But like not when I told them to, not when I told them, okay, go get. Just stopped in the middle of running and just went. I'm like, what's going on here? Do I yell at them? Do I scream at them? Are they going to start crying? So I kept my mouth shut, and then I was like, I go to my daughter, do these girls do this all the time? They just stop in the middle of practice and go get a drink of water? She goes, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. That's what it is. Okay.
So have you got any more info yet on Vegas?
The
golf
no.
tournament?
Well, I do know where that we got this house that we rented, but so as far as the program is what we're doing every day, that guy hasn't gotten back to me yet. I will ask him again so that I can let you know what's going on. How far are you? Do you drive or do you take a flight?
Oh God, that's like a 30-minute flight from Burbank.
Yeah,
that's quick.
So yeah, I'll find out some more details. I'm just, I guess not happening. Whatever that, I think it's the 9th. Whatever. Let me see here.
February 9th?
That's the day I'm leaving, I think, because the Super Bowl is the second week in February this year, the 13th.
Yeah.
So I'm leaving the 9th here, February 9th. That's when I'm leaving. And I'll be in Vegas that night. Practice golf on Thursday, and then the tournament's Friday and Saturday. And I don't know. And I guess the Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know what they do. I don't know what exactly. These guys have been doing it forever, but I got to find out what exactly is happening. First time I'm doing this with these guys. So I've had a Super Bowl party at my house for.
Oh, that's right.
Since the Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always had a Super Bowl, so my wife is so happy.
Oh, you're not going to be there?
I'm not going to be there.
Nice.
She's thrilled.
She's the house to herself.
Yeah, she's thrilled that I'm not going to be here. And it's the first time I haven't had a Super Bowl party. I mean, think about when the Bears won back in '85. That's a long time. All right, so we've come down here, a little support down here at the 30 area, 29.30. I would be a little bit careful here. If we go below 25, I think market might go retest the lows there. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask in the chat box area as we're coming here to the end of our morning session. The opportunities were there. If you look at the chat box area, you'll see the levels that we gave out this morning. They've kind of worked out very nicely for us. Let me give you a couple levels that maybe you can add to the upside here. We got 62, and then 68, and then 79. 62, 70, 68, and 79. There they are, 68, and 79, in case we continue to go up. So, yeah. And again, if anybody has any questions, a good time to ask. And we are not going to be here on Monday. Monday is a holiday here in the United States. So we are definitely not going to be around here on Monday.
Are you expecting any more snow or warmer weather?
No, it's we've been lucky. The last couple of days have been 39 and the 30s. You know, you're laughing, but
I'm
it's.
sorry.
And
It's like, oh,
I'm shedding a coat. Are you kidding? I switched to my lighter jacket now. You know, you don't appreciate it. Like I said, you in California, you don't appreciate the nice coolness.
I just,
Yeah, it's just still.
when you say it's warm, it's 39 and it's warm. And I'm like, oh, wow.
Yeah, it is. It's gorgeous out.
My God,
There's no wind. I mean, the wind is the key. Even 39, if you get the wind, it just cuts through you. But 39 and no wind, oh, it's beautiful.
Beautiful. Oh, sorry about that.
All right, that's okay. California guys are snobs out there with the weather. That's all right. Hey, listen, you have to deal with the traffic. We have traffic in Chicago, but it's not as bad as California.
I did promise I would come out in the Chicago, and it's nice and snowy one of these years.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be anytime soon. But I'll keep my promise.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you do that, and of course, you might have to buy a coat or two, not a fur one.
I want to find a good coat store in California.
Yeah, that I don't think will happen. That's not happening.
We have a place called the Fur Factory down in Hollywood. I'll go check that out.
That's there you go. I don't even know that why they don't even sell furs anymore. You get stuff thrown at you if you wear fur nowadays.
Exactly.
All right, we're coming down here. A little support area. If you're a little aggressive, again, there's a little bit of support here, and just scalp the market if you're trading at 2 or 3 points on these price action opportunities. Set a little support there at 30. We're getting a nice little pop here above it. So if you did jump in, you're doing okay there. Nice rotation here. So again, waiting for the opportunities is key. We suggested a little support level in this area here, 30. And we're getting a nice little bounce off of it. So if you did jump in, then you did okay. Again, waiting for opportunities there. There's price action opportunities. There's the levels that we gave out. Whatever I'm talking about as far as opportunities to trade as a taught experience, we show you why these levels are there, or what to look for, how to find them, or why they would work, why they wouldn't work. And then you as an individual trader has to make that determination on your own, whether you want to jump in or not, and keep your risk tolerance according to what makes you comfortable as a trader, not what makes me comfortable or anybody else. You have to find the niche that works perfectly for you, and we work with each individual here to try to maximize those opportunities for you. All right, so no, we basically I just basically stick to the S&Ps. What's MES? Is that an indicator? before I,
I was wondering that as well.
oh, the micros. Oh, micros, MES. Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I gave this example. Well, the micros, minis, or whatever you want to call them, they trade basically the same as the minis, the micros. I mean, so my philosophy there is kind of simple. If you're trading, even if you're getting charged a dollar or a dollar and a half or whatever it is for a micro to get in and out of a trade, you make $10 on 2 points. If you trade, so that's 10%, right? Even if you're just paying a dollar, which I don't think most people are paying just a dollar, and you take the mini and you make, I think the most you should trade for that is about $5 on the upside. Just say $5. And if you make 2 points on a mini, you're making $100. So if you have to pay $5 off of that, it's 5%. So even if you're paying a dollar for the micro, and it's cheap, a dollar, you're paying 10% on each trade that you put on, versus 5% if you have to trade the mini. So obviously it's a money issue, right? I understand. But as far as your big bang for your money, as far as brokerage people are concerned, if you can manage to trade the mini, I think you'll be better off in the long run. You'll be definitely giving the brokerage houses a lot less money and keeping that money for yourself. But I understand if you have to trade the micro for various reasons. So, but the levels in the micro correlate with the levels in with the minis very closely, even tick to tick. So, whatever you do there, you could do in the minis and the micros. I hope that answers your question. All right. So if some of you have been with us in the morning, I think hopefully, not everybody's happy, I heard. Hopefully you did okay with our levels that we gave out this morning. And if you're just learning, that's fine. The markets do move around quickly. You obviously need a platform to trade, to see the levels and to enter trades in the platform. So that's the first thing. And obviously, if you don't have one, or if you need to get set up, we can probably help you with that too, if that's what you're looking for. In addition to our education course that we offer to show you how to use these levels, how to find them, and how to implement them and tweak them a little bit if you had to. The Bollinger Bands is there to help us with the market to stay on the right side. They give us an opportunity to trade. We've incorporated the Bollinger Band into some of the setups that we have. Obviously, they need to. There's parameters when we use them and parameters when we don't use them, but the Bollinger Band is there to try to keep us on the right side of the market. All right. All right. Again, now, if we get above the 36 area there. You want to be out of any shorts, and if we get above 45, the market might go and retest the highs there. So right now, market seems to be staying on the little weakish side. And as long as it stays below, I mean, I would cover anything above 35 if you're keeping a tight little stop there. And if we get above 45, the market might rotate and go retest the highs. So right now, if we get below 25, we might go retest the lows. And really, we already, the 14 area already was, got played out. So I would not be looking at that as support. I'd be looking down at the 06 area as our next support level. Now, we don't know which way the markets are going to go. We are just trying to take advantage of ebbs and flows of the market, and the market kind of give us our indications of what we're trying to find next. We also focus more on the morning hours as we're coming here to the end of the morning session to give us our opportunities to trade. We feel that the dynamics and the volatility and the ebbs and flows and the volatility all lead to us trading a little bit better in the morning hours versus the late morning or late afternoon or the afternoon trades. Totally, I think, a little bit different, and consequently, we focus more on the morning hours where we get our good ebbs and flows, and the dynamics kind of tend to trade to our methodology a little bit better. So that's why we kind of gear our trades to the morning hours versus late afternoon. If you join us in the afternoon, that's why we kind of are quiet around here. Don't like to give too many opinions in the afternoon because the volatility is a little bit different. Definitely, they trade differently in the afternoon versus the morning trade.
I think Don's still trading.
Oh, he's done. He's out by the tractor. He's revving up that tractor, he's trying to get it to work.
Trying to get it to start.
Yeah. All right. So we said anything below 25. You don't want to be long, and it kind of held, and coming back up here now we're said anything above the 35 area you don't want to be short. So this is where it gets a little bit choppy here, where it's really not going anywhere fast, and it's just seems like it's just chopping around a little bit. So this is where you definitely you have to show some kind of patience here, kind of wait. Even though we gave you big parameters, the market might really kind of just sidewind here a little bit. It seems like it might be getting to that point. I don't know. I'm just saying. But we gave you areas that you should focus in on to see if the market will extend from there or not. But it looks like it's just getting a little bit choppy right now, kind of going nowhere fast. It's kind of, and that happens, right? I mean, that definitely happens. So, and like I said, that's why we focus more on the morning hours for our opportunities, because the dynamics definitely change as the day goes on. And if you're going to trade this afternoon, just look at our levels as key areas that you should focus in on versus trying to find, especially if it gets choppy and it goes back and forth in a tight range, tough to get a good feel for it. All right. Looks like we're just going to be chopping here a little bit. Again, we hope you had a good morning with the levels that we gave out this morning. We're going to show them again in our chat box area there for you. And again, use those as a guide for the rest of the afternoon, the rest of the day.
Get the ones on
And
top.
we gave you the levels to the upside that we're kind of looking for. I said anything above the 45 there, probably don't want to be short and probably go retest the highs. If we get below 25 or so, I think we might go retest the lows. And I know those are big parameters, but you know,
Moving
in the middle
fast.
here. Huh?
It's moving fast.
Yeah,
still.
it is definitely moving fast, but also kind of going nowhere fast at the same time. Kind of all of a sudden in the last 20, 30 minutes, I mean, it's a big range that we're going nowhere fast, but it is going nowhere fast. This kind of trade could get you in trouble more than anything else, at least at the time being. But if we start extending and maybe going and retesting on some of our other levels that we had, then maybe that'll be a little bit better. So as you can see here, those levels to the downside there, we gave you those parameters. The 14 there is the only one that I would not go touch because we already kind of tested it. If we get below the 25, we might go and retest that those little lower levels. Sure.
You're not going to be at Starbucks?
I'll be on my way to Starbucks. It's only sometimes it's the only way I get out of the house. Unfortunately, and my wife's, I'm home for a couple of days. There's not much to do. The weather sucks. It's cold. She goes and sees the baby because she gets invited. I don't, and which is nice, great. And then she comes home and goes, "Why don't you get out of the house once in a while?" I'm like, "Where the hell do you want me to go? I mean, what do you want me to do?" And then when I'm out a lot, you're never home. I'm like, "Oh God,
Yeah,
I've seen this scenario before."
Yeah.
So I played cards last night, and so saw my friend Evan that I golf with him all the time, and he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so bored staying at home." I go, "No kidding." It's tough. It is tough at this time of the year.
Well, I'm lucky. I got two little girls that keep me busy, incredibly busy.
Yeah, you can also go and walk on the beach.
That's true. I can do that.
Is your older one going to school yet or not yet?
She's going to start this year, as a matter of fact. We've got a couple of, we have an online walkthrough this afternoon, and we have a physical walkthrough for a couple different schools next week. And she does not want to go.
Oh, really?
We're talking about going to school, and she says, "Yuck."
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's interesting. My kids they like school. They always were. They wanted to get out of the house get away from the other sisters.
I'm sure she'll be fine once she gets there. And
it looks like she'll be real fine. You're the one that's going to be having a problem.
That's what my wife said. They're going to kick me out of school.
Yeah, you're going to be dropping around. You'll be one of those guys waiting for her to get out of school so you can pick her up.
I'll be outside the fence waiting for her.
Yeah, that's when they'll call the cops. This guy's standing there. We're worried about him.
All right, so I'll give you a call this afternoon.
All right, take care.
Have a
All right,
good one.
everybody. We gave you some parameters here to kind of focus in on, and we will talk to everybody later. Thanks.
Hey, as we're coming into the 11 o'clock hour, right now it's 11 a.m. Eastern time. Wanted to welcome those that are coming in as guests. If we have any people that are part of Sol's Trade Along live session this session, you want to upgrade to Sol's trading class, where he takes you into private class, teaches you how to trade based on his price action trading methodology. You can upgrade, which is something we can talk about at a personal level. So if you're interested in that, raise your hand. I'll also send out to those that raise their hand the opportunity to receive a discount based on this service. So we break the service up into two sections. The first section is this Trade Along live session, which is Sol's Trade Along session. We call it Trade Along Live. It's from 9 a.m. to 12 noon on a daily basis. The afternoon is a reserve for class time, where Sol teaches you in his trading academy. So that's the second level of service here. The Trading Academy comes with bonus access or free access to this Trade Along live session for a year. In other words, that you can go into private session with Sol, learn his technique, apply his technique in this Trade Along live session, and be critiqued by Sol based on the actions that you've taken, the entries, exits, and stops. And it's a great opportunity for traders that are new and also experienced traders that are looking to really focus on developing consistent profitability. So that's what we do every day. This is the Trade Along Live Trade Along session with Sol as your host and mentor. It's an educational only experience. It is a paid for subscription service. So we have some pretty good deals on it right now. Generally, the regular price that you see on the website is a great price. If you have, and this is what I say on a general daily basis, is that if you haven't made your money this morning to cover the cost of this entire month of this Trade Along live service, then you should look in the mirror and see if there's an opportunity for you to now get trained by Sol in his trading academy so that you can start to develop what we call consistent profitability based on your trading. Hey, Bruce, how you making out? Hey, Deepak, how are you? Edward, Frank, Jim, T, KG, Kent. Hey, Michael, I know you had mentioned before, a little bit of the concept of, and actually, I think I should put it this way for you, because I think, Sol's been doing this for 25 years. He's available to work with individuals like yourself on a personalized basis in his trading academy. I think there's also a lot of, and I think this is probably good for everybody to hear, is that there's a lot of baloney that is part of trading conversation and, just sort of the talk around everything else but the trade. What Sol likes to do here, and so we have the combo, like if somebody wanted to learn price action trading or they wanted to check what they have, then they go into private session with Sol, and that's taken care of through the academy. And then they come in here as a proving ground and an access point to Sol as they're applying their newfound skills. This Trade Along live session is for individuals that have a trading skill and that are looking for better levels. Sol's proprietary scalping levels, his pivot, and other levels on top and bottom of that pivot. The action of price in and around those levels and zones, and the idea of being able to bounce off Sol, the action of price and what's happening based on those levels. So he doesn't, he has conversation about all sorts of stuff, which I think is interesting. Some of it relates to what's going on based on the trade. Some of it's just a distraction for himself and others as they're waiting for the market price action to come into Sol's levels, whether it's his pivot or his other levels on top and bottom of the pivot that he calls support and resistance. So when he gave out his levels today, that's really what he's focused on. He's loaded them into his software, which you can do. And again, if you have a trading discipline and know what you're doing, it's a huge advantage, in my opinion anyway, against other traders to have Sol's levels, have him as a guide or a commentator in and around those levels, all from an educational point of view for the session. So when he gave out like 4620 today as pivot and then resistance and support, what he was doing is laying out a roadmap that he believes for his own trading is a great roadmap. And others have come to believe, based on their participation in this service, that Sol's levels are great for themselves, based on their own experience. The action of price, the entries, exits, and stops based on that are individualistic. In other words, Sol has his way of doing it. Individuals that come in are looking for an advantage, Sol's levels, his commentary, advantage 2, and then the opportunity to work with him based on the morning session, advantage 3. And then the commentary based on the wingmanship about areas, how the market's behaving, nuances, areas that don't apply anymore. In other words, that's why he calls them levels and zones. That's all part of the dialogue based on participating and being part of the service. The service is also a great introduction to what Sol has to offer, because if you spend any time here, like this morning, his levels were like working like a charm. You pick up on that, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, I could do that too, based on paying attention to having better levels, equal better trades. Now let's separate off into the concept of the academy. The academy is a teaching opportunity for individuals, or learning opportunity for individuals to be taught by Sol. So if you have a trading technique that's not quite working, or you need it tuned up, you hire Sol, you go into private class, and he helps you get through it. And then you come into this Trade Along Live session, because it's a bonus and it's included, as a proving ground to what you just learned, an access point to Sol to critique what you were learning, and how actually you're applying it. So that's really a lot of what goes on here every day. An individual that comes in that wants to learn directly from Sol and learn his price action trading methodology does that in private class. And they come in here, again, as a proving ground and an access point to Sol as you're applying your newfound skills, in the market. So that's what we do every day. That's the opportunity for you. What's interesting to me is that there is a lot. So if you let's say you come into this business, and it's very exciting. It has a great risk reward opportunity. We're trying to help you do handle the business enough to be able to get more of the reward than suffering the risk. And that's a battle that happens every day. Finding somebody like Sol is a rarity, because there's a lot of baloney that people claim you have to learn as a trader to be good at this. Every nuance of building charts, every nuance of, order entry, you really got to know. And that is something that you can learn from Sol. Sol's charts are very simply represented for himself. These are the charts that he uses in his trading. The charts that you see is what Sol uses. That's a blessing to see that, because it's not all complicated up with a lot of bells and whistles and indicators and crosses and time frames that could drive you mad in trading, and which, frankly, in my opinion, a lot of people suffer losses from, because it's madness to pay attention to all the signaling and the sucking in stuff that standardized software provides. It's really a one-armed bandit, and it's a one-armed bandit to drive up revenue for the people behind the scenes. And we look to come up with a very straightforward, tested by time price action trading methodology, and then work that methodology until your fingers bleed and you start to make money at it. Now, Saul does have Bollinger Bands and a couple other things on his charts, but he doesn't use them. So don't be confused by that. He may use them to stay in a trade or give him some sort of a telltale, but he is really interested in the action of market change or price change in the S&P 500 E-mini in and around his pre-mapped out pivot, in and around his support and resistance levels on the top and bottom of that pivot, at the exclusion of everything else except for what? Economic releases. He defends his position. He's looking for a minimum trading profit on each trade of 2 points plus. He defends generally 2 point stop with a 2 point stop. And I would venture to guess that his entries, exits, and stops are different than you know how to make right now. So that's why we do the intro, which is coming in as a guest and subscribing. Get to know what happens here based on the action of price, the ability to streamline what you're doing. It's great for new traders because then they can appreciate how simple it really is versus how complicated you can make it by looking at Saul's charts. You can duplicate what he's doing based on his charts pretty easily just by reading his charts because all the settings are there. We don't sell anything when it comes to charting or brokerage firms. Saul is a veteran trader that has a skill set that he looks to utilize on a daily basis and get better at. And he's very interested in making money based on his price action trading strategy and his proprietary scalping levels. And he spends the time to share them with you. He has, and I'll just tell you from a price deliverable perspective, you know, individual traders that have been with Saul, well, individuals that have been trading for a long time, quite frankly, pay Saul just for his levels. That's how good they think they are. I'll take that one step further, and now you can join Saul and have him as your wingman for the morning session, all from an educational point of view only. So that is an added plus on top of his levels. And that's for traders that know what they're doing, that have a handle on their own trading technique and methodology. And they are striving to make money on a daily basis based on that technique. And I'll tell you that the way Saul comes into the market here, his TikTok, I think, will be very helpful for individuals that are coming in and being part of the service, especially subscribers, right? Is that when Saul comes into the trading morning, he is simply in his brain neutral. That's really hard to do. And there's some days where he admits that he gets sucked into it also. But the idea of coming into the opening bell without a thought when it comes to, whether the market, how the market's behaving, what's the bias, what's the influence, what should I be paying attention to other than just price change? He tries to have a neutral stand until the market tells him different. Now, that's something you can do too, and it's a methodology that he has developed to be able to help him do better based on this morning's trade or tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday morning's trade. Because I know we're off on Monday. So when we're coming into now we're talking Eastern time, 9:30 is the cash open. 9:30 changes everything. They say the best, all battle plans for the battle, if you want to call trading a battle or sortie or whatever, the best plans go out the window as soon as the market opens, as soon as the battle starts. So if you have no plan except for your trading technique, and Saul is coming to his screens. In other words, he doesn't preset his levels overnight. He sets his levels right up and close to the morning session as an advantage because he believes it gives his levels more validity to set them right around the cash open. So when he's popping in at 9:25 or 9:28, he's coming in with a cleared head, supposedly, right? He's trying. He is setting his levels as a roadmap for the day, which gives him a clean slate coming into the cash open. He sets his pivot price and other levels on top and bottom of that pivot. And then he lets the cash market open. Now, he is in no rush to trade unless the market is giving him a sign, right? That it's time to get involved in and around his pivot or his other levels. But I'll back up a second here and say right around the cash open and after the cash open, Saul does a critical assessment. And it's really a risk assessment for himself and a market assessment of what's actually transpiring based on momentum, follow through, action of price after the opening bell. And this is where he starts to formulate in his brain the status of the day. Is it too crazy? Does it look like it's going to be a normal trading day? How did the first level work out, his pivot, or the other levels, around his pivot? How did the market behave at those levels? So he is paying very close attention to setting how many contracts is he going to put up today at a time. Could it be 1? Could it be 5? Could it be 10? Based on the action of price and how his levels are behaving. So he sets himself up. There is a TikTok and a roadmap for him. And that's a huge opportunity for you because you don't have to get muddled coming into the open by all sorts of, stuff that doesn't matter until the opening bell. And then it's a matter of witnessing the action of price and then being able to understand based on the action of price how you are going to handle your risk profile today. And then you can actually witness what's happening and take action based on the action of the S&P 500 E-mini price change after the opening bell and how it is interacting and reacting around your pre-mapped out, preloaded levels in your software. And then you have your own technique, entries, exits, and stops in and around Saul's levels or his pre-mapped out levels and zones. Now, the action of price dictates what's happening in the S&Ps. The levels are a fixed point that can be adjusted and tweaked based on market action, the concept of levels and zones. And then it's a matter of being able to go into a trade, short or long. Where do you defend your position today based on the action of price? Is your normal stop holding at 2 points, or do you have to expand your bands based on your entries, exits, and stops? You may expand out to a 5-point stop, depending on the volatility and the action of price. And then it becomes a simple rinse and repeat based on knowing your fixed points, listening to Saul based on the action of price, his concept of zones and prices, and he is your wingman to be able to work with you as he works the market for his own account and you work the market for your own account. And the idea is, how do you do 2, 3, 4, 5 trades and be finished for the day? And you could do that, as you heard today, in the first hour of trading. Could be an hour and a half, could be 2 hours. Generally, Saul is done pretty early. Those that are good at this are done pretty early. But there are days when you need to work harder based on being able to work your account and your trades into a positive format for the morning. So that's what we do every day. So individuals come in here with their own skill set already. They are looking for better levels equal better trades, ergo Sol's levels. They're looking for a guide or a wingman to help them with the temperament of the day and help them based on the changing and the adaptation of the levels, which Sol calls, his levels and zones. So if there are changes on the fly based on market condition, market action, maybe changes on the fly based on an economic release or something unforeseen, there's an adjustment and a tweaking that goes on based on the action of taking trades and what to do and what not to do. And not everybody's perfect. And having somebody as your individual trade along partner, which is Sol in this case, then that's a great way to work out your day based on having somebody to bounce things off of as the market morning is unfolding. So we have guests that come into this service, and this is the window into our world here. They come in, they might be a little confused about what's going on, how to get the most out of the service. I understand that. I think it's also interesting that, you do have a website to review. It gives you pretty simple explanation about Sol's mentoring and coursework. I call it 100 different names. It's really Sol taking you into a private Zoom room, getting to know where you are, where you're at, what your interests are, what your risk tolerance is, and then figuring out what he can help you with. If you're a new trader, you get the whole package, which is his concept of price action trading. He teaches you and schools you in it. And then as a area for training, you come into this Trade Along Live session as that area of training. And then that lasts a year. So it's really a unique opportunity for traders that know what they're getting into when they're trading, and they want to develop consistent profitability in their trading business, and they know they're the talent in the trading business, and they hire Sol to help them. We've got other individuals that just need a tune-up, but it's all connected to this concept of this trade-along approach, where you're working with Sol, Trade-Along Live session, as your wingman, receive Sol's proprietary scalping levels, go through the morning session, and in our humble opinion, have a better shot making money than if you're left on your own using standardized software and all the common levels and that is provided by standardized software. And you can just tell if in my opinion, it's just my opinion, I have to say opinion all the time because everybody's got an opinion, right? Is that when you come into a trading morning and you don't have a plan and you get kicked around by standardized software, which means you're being solicited, indicated, based on trade action and price action, and the one-armed bandit bells and whistles and lights and horns and clicks and signals. It could drive you crazy. And if the failure rate in trading is in the high 90 percentile, I blame a lot of it on, I think the trappings of trading, the ability to come in and just start trading and putting up your money is very dangerous because trading platforms and the market's really a false friend. It's not here to help you grow your business. It's here to complicate it, apparently, and take your money. And the complications come through all the, you learn about Japanese candles, learn about MACDs and crosses and moving averages and, all of the lists and the sectors and all sorts of crazy. I mean, it could drive you percent, whether it happens slowly, a grind to oblivion, a quick, I burned through 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand, pretty quickly. Not only from just breaking even all the time and paying commissions, but losses and seat time. In other words, you could make more money working for minimum wage than you could do trading for the time that you spend trying to grind it out and learn this elusive, one-armed bandit system with its standardized software. So having said that, sweep all that out of your mind and just focus, in our humble opinion, on the price change in and around fixed levels. Learn the entries, exits, and stop technique, price action trading. Make it your own. Attention to the action of price. Learn the action of price and become a master of your own destiny. And that's the offer as it stands based on this along tradingacademy.com. And the two silos. One is this Trade Along live session, which you're in. And then the opportunity that happens in private class, which is the Trade Along Trading Academy silo. New traders, experienced traders, we're just looking for traders that are looking to develop consistent profitability. Again, and I read this somewhere about something else just recently, and it was an educational thing, and it was really about an individualistic effort, which this is, that there's no guarantees anybody will make any money, and if somebody guarantees you'll make money, run. Because it's really it's a individual sport, and we can help you look to become the best trader you can be and really help you grind it out. But you have to be willing. The other thing too, which comes up from time to time, is that the Trading Academy has a cost. I think it's a very value-driven situation, versus the money. If you're good at this, you could make. But there are, people lose money. People make money. But the value proposition is that, and you can tell, like come in depending on the size of their account or their risk capital associated with their trading business, that 10 grand goes very quickly if you don't know what you're doing, or you think you know what you're doing and you're just consistently wasting time and losing money. Investing in yourself to be able to really buckle down and learn, have somebody actually teach and critique you. And I think that Sol is pretty good at doing that. And you can witness it in this Trade Along live session, because he puts his money where his mouth is. And if his levels stink, you're going to know they stink. So if it turns out his levels are great on a regular basis, and Sol's conversation and interaction with you is first rate, which I generally believe it really is, but it's not up to me, it's up to you. But investing in yourself in the right kind of education, being able to do it in this kind of Trade Along live environment is amazing. But you have to decide that. So anyway, so that's what we do every day. That's the opportunity for you. We do break it up into silos, the Academy and the Trade Along live session. The Academy comes along with the Trade Along live session. The Trade Along live session is a standalone for those that know what we're doing, or coming in as an introduction into this world. Certainly set up an S&P 500 E-mini chart. In other words, start out with a standardized trading platform. Make sure you have order entry. Make sure you have unfiltered data. Make sure you're set up so that you can trade one contract. Look to duplicate Sol's charts or get as close as you can. If you need help, let us know. And being a subscriber to this Trade Along live session is a great start. It's great traders that are looking to make a buck, that have their own trading technique and are looking for Sol again as a wingman and Sol's proprietary scalping levels. And it's great for individuals that are coming into this market from other markets that want to spend a couple months plotting the levels, listening to the commentary, plotting the levels, listening to the commentary, seeing how the market's behaving in and around those levels. You'll start to pick up on it pretty quickly. And then if you want to spin off and go into Sol's Trading Academy and have access to this as part of the combo, then you're really doing the right thing for yourself. But anyway, so that's just me. So right now it is 11:30. We're at the end of the morning session when it comes to the body of the trading. We'll keep this open through the rest of the trading day. We do have the opportunity to join Sol in class. Just schedule with him. Remember, it's a private Zoom room with all the bells and whistles. You can share your screens, your charts. You have a headset and a microphone. You work with him. You get yourself tuned up. You get yourself on the right track, and then you come in here as an access point to him and a proving ground for what you're doing. If anybody needs a discount, or anybody would like a discount, Sol still has that set of links. If you would like the link for the discount, the Trade Along Live session, this session, let us know, and I will send it out to you. Let us know by raising your hand, and then I will send it out to you. For those that are warehousing it, in other words, like you take the link and then you think, oh, I'll just use it in a week. We do change up the links. So make sure that when you get the link that you act on it so that you get the discount and you can hold on to it. The rollover is the same. So if you get the discount, it rolls over at the discounted price. It doesn't reset to the normal price on the website. The only place the link is found is in this Trade Along Live session on demand, and you have to raise your hand to get it, okay? If you're holding on to it, make sure you use it because it can be an exploding situation where it's just not available to you. Frank B., how are you? Bill, Deepak, what are you going to do? Sule, and Tammy. Tammy, let us know what you're going to do. I'll be in the background if you need me. For those that are want to drive people in here, it's tradealonglive.com, tradealonglive.com.